Alright guys, welcome to my first video on JD Hammers the Lanes on YouTube. So today we're going to be going over my 8-ball arsenal for tournaments, my league, or just practice in general. So we're going to go over all my solids, my pearls, a urethane ball, and a hybrid ball. So why don't we get into it? But before we get started today, I would just like to mention my new sponsor I've been with for about 3 months now. It is called W. W and I are partners, so I'm currently an ambassador for them right now. So if you would love to try one of our flavors, one of mine is, I think, fruit punch with lemonade in it. You can use my code JDHTL at checkout for 10% off on w.gg. So the first ball we're going to go over today is kind of like my starter ball on probably the longer or medium. It's the Black Widow 3.0. And this ball is just phenomenal. I mean, this is probably a ball I've been throwing for about a year now, year and a half. It just gets through the front so quickly and then just wants to jump. It's an asymmetric, so of course it's going to jump really quick. I believe the differential is 0.058 for a 15-pounder, and it's a solid. So I'll show some clips here and there of the ball. And yeah, I mean, this is probably a ball that any starter bowler or someone who just wants a stronger ball in general to go to, this is the perfect ball. So the next ball I'm about to go over is just a step below the 3.0. It's the Hammer Effect Tour. This ball, oh my god. When I first got it, it hooked out of its mind. But what I noticed is when you put more games on it, it likes to blend a little bit more, so it's a little bit more smoother. Out of the box, it just likes to jump really quickly. The differential on that is 0.012, and this is also another asymmetric ball, solid, and it wants to see it. It's a little, like I said, it's a little touch weaker than the 3.0. So once it sees it, it just wants to jump, but not as quickly as the 3.0. So I'll show some clips. Of it right here. Otherwise, this ball is another good ball for beginners or someone who has a lot of rev rate and wants to hook the lane with it. This is a good ball. The next ball I'm going over is also another solid, but this one's actually symmetric. This ball is the Knockout Black and Blue. Now, I was recommended by this from one of my coaches and Pro Shop guys. It's when urethane's just dying out, I can go to this ball. It's a little bit stronger than it. Actually, it's pretty much stronger than it. And I can stay right or create a little bit of angle left, and it'll still see it and get through the fronts easily. The differential, let's see, it's 0.050. So that's for 15 pounds. Otherwise, here's some clips.
Buried. Oh my.
Now this ball, if you have just a lot of hook, like me, like I have about 450, and you want a ball that's a little touch weaker than an asymmetric, this is a pretty good ball. Now onto my balls that I throw when it's starting to dry up a little bit. My first ball that I would normally go to when they're dry is my Violent Collision from DV8. This ball, I throw it on basically everything. I throw it on fresh, dry, and even on my house shot. I think my highest record on a house shot was like 760, and it was with that ball and sanctioned. But this one has length, and once it sees it, it just wants to jump immediately. So this ball I think is discontinued. I'm not sure. I'll make sure of it. It's a symmetrical pearl, and oh my god, it just wants to see it. So here are some clips. If you want a ball that's it's weaker than a solid and you want it to go longer without it overhooking, this is a pretty good ball for you. The next pearl I'm going over is also discontinued. I don't know why they discontinued it because it was such a good ball. The Storm High Road Pearl. Now this ball, oh, I keep saying it with every ball. This ball actually was like perfect for me because once they dried up and my Violent wasn't doing enough, I would go to this ball. It would skid and then flip immediately, and it would just go through the pins crazily. Now, I believe the differential is 0.046 on this, and it's I think a symmetrical. I'm not sure on that, but let me just check. Yeah, it is a symmetrical. So here's some clips. As you can see, this ball just loves reading later at the end. At the house and bowling, it likes to hook a lot, so I have to stay way left than I should be with it. But if you're able to get your hands on this ball, please do, because they're done making them. If you can get your hands on one of them, my God, you're winning your league. So the next ball I'm going to go over is actually a hybrid, and it's called the Ion Pro from Storm. Now, I'm not really a fan of Storm. I've been always like in the Brunswick, DV8 side, etc. As you can see, I have a High Road in my bag. This is another ball I have in my bag that's just been phenomenal. I didn't like it at first, but then once I started using it a little bit more, I got a couple of 300s, and I basically throw it on sport shots once they're breaking down a little bit and there's a lot more hook, because I blended it out enough to where this doesn't have as much hook as it used to have out of the box. So I'll just stay a little bit more left and create angle, or if I need to, I'll square up and stay right. Here are some videos. And I believe the differential on this is 0.035. I'm looking on the Storm site right now. This is another good ball that you can get from your pro shop, basically a house shot killer. And it's good on sport shot. I normally don't throw hybrids because I don't think they're necessary. But this past season, I've been throwing them a lot more. So if you want to get an Ion Pro, stop at your pro shop. Now, onto a really important ball that you should always have in your tournament bag. It is a urethane ball. Now, this isn't like a proper urethane. This is a 78U. It's the Black Hammer. Now, I don't like urethane as a two-hander because I never thought I got to see the reaction with it. But I've been throwing them at the past couple events, and it's made me money every time. And I'm trying to learn how to like blend it more, flick it with my wrist, if I need to get around it more, get under it. Now, since this is a urethane ball, I believe this is a pearl. Yes, it is. The differential on it is 0.015, so that's for 15 pounds. Here are a couple of clips. Now, I really do think everyone should have this in their tournament bag when you're bowling on a sports shot. Even on a house shot, you might get a little shit for it, but I've never thrown urethane on house shots. My friends do, but I just don't see it as much. But if you need a ball that's really early and will blend out on shorter patterns, this is the ball. Now, my last ball actually isn't like a hook ball, it's actually my T-zone. This actually just is my spare ball. I don't need it really for hooking the lane or doing anything. I don't think I've ever needed to, nor should anyone need to, but this gets all my 10 pins, 610s, 3 610s, or my splits. So here are a couple of clips of me like making spares and stuff. Now, everyone needs a spare ball, no matter what. Do not hook at your spares. You always need to throw straight at them. You're not always guaranteed to get your spares. I'm not a really good spare shooter. I've been working on it for the past year, but you always need a spare ball. It will improve your average in league and in tournaments. Spares, I feel like, matter more than strikes. If you spare the entire way in a tournament and get a couple of strikes, you'll be averaging like 210 or 200 basically the entire time. But that's about it for this video today. Be sure to like down below, leave some comments on what I should do. I will be posting on YouTube more at like tournaments like JBSTs, WYBTs, and hopefully an SYC, and I know for sure Junior Gold. So be sure to follow me on my socials, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, it's going to be nice being on YouTube. Bye.